Hello and welcome. The purpose of this video is to show you how to use LabSim, which is how you actually be performing your activities for this course. To start off, you need to log into Blackboard and go to our class. Once you're logged in, you want to go over to the learning content. And you will notice that there are links for LabSim here, and there's also a temporary access code. If you have not already purchased your access code for LabSim, you can use this temporary one. It will be good for about 30 days. If you have your if you have your permanent access code, if you've already purchased one, then continue to use that one. So this is just simply for people that don't have it. Now, if you do want to purchase your LabSim code directly from TestOut, you can get a significant discount. And the way that you do it is there is an actual promotional code that you use here. And make sure that if you use this, that you copy and paste this information, because it has to match exactly or else you will not get the discount. Now, if you want to use financial aid, you have to purchase it through the bookstore. If you're not using financial aid, then you can purchase it from their website. My recommendation would be to do this. Use the temporary code until you get your financial aid disbursement. You'll receive a credit card that has the money on it, and then once you receive the disbursement, then you use this promotional code and purchase it directly from LabSim. That way you don't have to pay the surcharge from the bookstore. It'll save you quite a bit of money, but you have to make sure you have enough money left over. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. Alright, so I'm going to go into our Week 2 folder, and there are instructions here on what you're to do this week. There will be instructions for each week listed in here. For the most part, though, your assignments are going to be through LabSim. But what I'm going to ask for you to do is still check this folder every week just to see if there are other assignments. I will also send an announcement so that way you have that information in your email. I do expect you to check your email. Alright, so what I would like for you to do is to get familiar with LabSim. And to do that, the first thing that you're going to do is to log in. And there are some videos that you'll watch that will explain essentially what you're going to be doing through the semester. And then after that, what I want you to do is to actually take the certification practice exam. Now, at the end of the semester, your final exam is going to be the Server Pro certification exam. And this practice exam, what you want to do is you want to take the exam right before you take the final, so that way you can take it as practice to see how prepared you are. But what I want you to do is I want you to take the practice exam now. That way you get a baseline feeling for where you are at right now and what areas you really need to study to do well in the course. This does two things. One, it tells me what level you're at, how prepared you are right now. And then the second thing it will do is it will show your improvement through the semester. So that way I can see what you do now versus what score you get at the end. So you're going to take this practice exam twice, once now, once at the end of the semester before your final. Alright, so to access LabSim, I'm going to go back to Learning Content. Now please make sure that you're using Internet Explorer or Safari. Google Chrome does not work well. Firefox does not work well. You have to use Internet Explorer. The problem is if you have Windows 10, you now have the new Edge browser. Alright, so I have Windows 10 on my computer. The Edge browser is the default browser that comes with it, but you can still get to Internet Explorer on the Start menu. All you have to do is start typing Internet Explorer, and you actually see that it shows up on the Start menu. So please make sure you're using Internet Explorer, even if it's Windows 10. If you're on a Mac, use Safari. Alright, so I'm going to go to the LabSim website. At the top right here, you want to log in. And then your username, if you have previously used LabSim through the school, it is going to be your previous username and password, so whatever you used before. If you created your own account, then you do not show up on my list, so therefore I created a new account for you. Or if you're a new student and have never used LabSim before, I created a new account for you. So your username is either going to be your previous one, which would be just your first initial, last name, and your 4 numbers, like you used to log into Blackboard, or if you've never used it before, your username is going to be your school email address. The full email address is what you want to type in here. Okay, so you're going to log in. Your username is the school email address, And your password is LabSim, LABSIM, no spaces, all lowercase. The first time that you log in, it will ask you to change your password. It will ask you to set up some security questions. Make sure you go through all of those, and please don't forget your password. Now, if you have used LabSim before and you are not using your school username or your school email address, you need to call TestOut and ask them to merge your accounts. You need to keep the one that is your school email address. Alright, so when you log in, you won't see a screen like this. What you will see is a page that says My Products. And you will see a couple of products here, and you're going to have a little section at the top to show ones that are not activated. So those are the ones that you're enrolled in, but they're not activated, which means you can't use them yet. So what you're looking for in your list is one that says Server Pro. And it's Test Out Windows Server Pro, Install and Configure. And then what you'll see is over here to the right, a little link that says Activation Required. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy this access code here, or use the one that you've already purchased, and then you're going to go back to LabSim, and you will actually have to put that code in there. Now the thing is it will not let you right click and paste, so you're going to have to use the keyboard shortcut, which is Control-V as in Victor. So make sure you copy and paste that in there, including the dashes. If you're typing the product key in, make sure you're typing it with the dashes and all uppercase. Alright, so once this shows up, then you just simply click on it, and it will take you right into the last thing that you were working on, which means you should start at the beginning. Alright, so up here at the top I have a home button and then I have an index button. If I click this, it will let me see all of the stuff that I have and all of the things that I've done. So you're going to start off at the very beginning, and it will give you instructions for what you're going to be doing. Now this is an HTML5 class, which means that you can access some of the stuff from a tablet, but you're going to be doing simulations that will require you to do all of that stuff on a desktop computer. So please use this from a PC or from a Mac. Alright, so if I'm reading through this, I have the option to copy the contents to my clipboard, or I can actually print it. So I can print out whatever is listed here. The videos that you're going to be watching, some of them will have the ability to print them out, others will not. Other navigation items you have is at the bottom there's an arrow, and if you click this, it will walk you through what all is coming up in this section. And then you can change your sections here, so you can go back and forth through the different sections. So that way, if you're trying to get to, say, section 3, you can go through here and get to section 3. Or the other option is to go through your menu up here, and then you can select the section that you want. Alright, so you're going to start at the beginning. And like I said, it gives you an explanation. I do expect you to read all of these, and I expect you to watch the videos. So I want to go to the next item, so I'm going to click the arrow here. It goes to the video. Now I have two options for the video. One is to just simply play the video, and the other one is to play it with an interactive script. The interactive script will actually show the text to you on the side, and it'll show you the text as he's speaking. If you're one of the people that actually tunes out when they're speaking, I would suggest doing the interactive script. That way you can actually see the text also. It's the same video, it just has text along with it. What I would like you to do is to watch this first video, and then after you watch this first video, I want you to go and take the actual certification practice exam. And the way that you get to that is up here in the menu. Scroll all the way to the bottom and you will see Microsoft 70-410 practice exams. And when you scroll to the bottom, there is a link here that says Microsoft 70-410 certification practice exam. So if I click on this, it'll take me to the screen showing me the practice exam. Notice there are 60 questions, and to actually pass the exam, you'd have to get a 95%. Now, like I said, the purpose of this one is not to get a score, so I'm not grading how well you're doing on it. I'm grading that you actually did it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the exam, you're going to go through all the questions, all the simulations, do the best that you possibly can on it, and then you're going to submit it. Now the thing is it will not give me your score. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take a screenshot. To take a screenshot on the keyboard, I'm going to hold down my Alt key and I'm going to tap the print screen key up at the top right. Now what that actually just did is it copied the entire active window to my clipboard, and I'm going to open up Microsoft Word. Open on the other screen. I'm going to make a new blank document and I'm going to paste it. So now what I get is the active window is now pasted directly here into Word, and this is what you're going to submit to Blackboard. So what you'll actually see is when you're done with the exam, you'll get a summary page. And the summary page will tell you what your score was. It will show you within all the different categories what grade you received in that particular category, and that's the page that I want you to paste into Word and submit to Blackboard. So you're not pasting this page, you're pasting the summary page. Once you've submitted that summary page to Blackboard, your assignment for this week is to complete all of Section 1. So you're going to go back to Section 1, and then you go through, so you watch the videos, and they're going to have videos here. They'll have server facts. These are called fact sheets, and then what these are for is information related to the video. And once again, like I said, you can print them out. Now, if you have a program like Qt PDF, or if you have Adobe Acrobat or Foxit Reader or any program like that, you can actually print these out to PDF files. And if you print it as a PDF file, then you can save it for later. Alright, so I'm going to go to the next one. The next one is a practice exam. So this is going to be a 5-question exam. Now this one does get graded. And notice that you're required to have at least an 80% score. Now the way that this works is they're going to give you a minimum score for all of the things that you do. Some of these are going to be exams, like quizzes, and then some of them are going to be simulations. So for these, they will tell you what the required score is to pass it. Now the exams, you're allowed to take the exams 3 times. I will allow you to take it 3 times, and whatever your highest score is the one that I will actually grade. After that, the other scores don't count. It's of the first 3 times that you take it, what is your highest score? Alright, so then you go on to the next thing. This is another fact sheet talking about the interface. Another video. So you're going to see some videos. Then you end up with another fact sheet that provides information about initial configuration tasks and so forth. Make sure you read through all of these. And then the next thing is an actual lab. Now these are the simulators that you'll be using throughout the semester. Each lab will give you a scenario, and the scenario here is going to be, in this one you need to go to Administrative Tools. We're going to play with the local security policy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to start the lab, because that same information will be provided on the side in the lab. Now these labs are designed in Silverlight, which means you have to have Silverlight installed on your computer. If you don't, you get an error, or you may see a little box up here that says Enable Silverlight or Install Silverlight. Make sure you install it. And the first time that you run it, you have to select that option that says Allow Always. Otherwise, it'll ask you every single time you launch one of these if it's okay for it to run Silverlight. Alright, so I want to show you something that may occur sometimes. Remember, these are simulators, so every once in a while things get kind of flaky. If you let me know if something doesn't work right, I will definitely raise a support ticket with Test Out, and then they will take care of it. But what I want to do is, it says that we're going to go to Start and then Administrative Tools. And Administrative Tools is here on the side. If you were to go to All Programs, Administrative Tools is here also. But notice when I click on it, it doesn't necessarily show up right the first time. So sometimes when you're expecting to find things, the simulator is expecting you to do it a certain way. And so they're saying go to Start Administrative Tools, so they're talking about the one over here. And then Local Security Policy. And notice at the top, by the way, it keeps showing loading. Okay, so they're going to walk you through step by step what you have to do for this lab. Now, what I would strongly suggest is start at the top, do one item at a time, and work your way down the page. If you follow the steps and you do them in order, then you'll be able to complete the lab successfully. If you get out of order, I've seen people where they'll skip one step and have to restart the whole lab. You have to receive a grade of 100% on the labs for them to count. If you don't get 100%, the grade doesn't count. You can take these as many times as you want, but to get the actual score for it, you have to have 100% on it. All right, so when you're all done with it, what you do is you click Done. And when I click Done, it's going to take me to a summary page to tell me all the stuff that I did right and did wrong. All right, so I click Done, and it will tell me, oops, I got a 0% because I didn't do anything. All right, so it tells you how long you spent in it, what stuff you didn't do or did do. So if I got this right, I'd have a little check mark here. And then what they also do is they'll show you down here the stuff that you didn't do right, how to do it. Now this is helpful because let's say you're doing the lab, you really can't figure out how to do something, then what you can do is you can come into here, you just click Done, because like I said, it doesn't count for if you redo the lab, but you can come into here and it will show you the steps that you should have taken to perform the required task. When you're done with the lab, you just simply click Done and then you continue on. Now your assignment is to do all of the LabSim Section 1 exercises, all the labs, all the exams, all the videos, all the review questions, the fact sheets. They're all due. I expect for you to watch all the videos and I expect you to do all the assignments. Now as far as submitting this, when you start the exam and you actually click Done, it will record all of your grades. So you don't turn anything into Blackboard for your LabSim modules. You are for the very first one because I want you to give me your practice exam summary sheet, but the actual LabSim modules, as you go through them, it will keep track of your score, so you don't have to turn anything into Blackboard each week. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.